The Cause of All Fear, a Detective Luca Meroni crime thriller, written by Toni Viola. Chapter 2. 0630 hours, Tuesday, 24th October, 2017, the Colosseum, Rome. He is a ghost. Inspector Gambarella flicked his cigarette out of the forensic tent. Meroni watched as the stub bounced and sparks flew across the ancient cobblestones. A ghost? I see a dead body, Meroni. A young male, mauled to death, wearing a wool jacket, collarless shirt, and a battered bombetta, a bowler hat. He looks like something out of an Agatha Christie novel. Any identification? Gambarella thrust a paper evidence bag at Meroni's chest. According to this, he is Antonio Pacito, an 18-year-old from Cassino who sailed on a ship called Massilia from Naples to New York in May 1906. Meroni read the document through the plastic viewing strip. It was a facsimile of an old passenger record from the Ellis Island Foundation website in New York. He scrutinized the mutilated face of the victim. I reckon he could be from Naples or Sicily, North Africa even. Give me a break, Meroni. I've got a corpse with a face that's unrecognizable. His fingers are chewed to the bone, so we've got no prints for comparison. DNA analysis will take at least 24 hours to come back from the lab. So, I call you here, my #1 detective, and all you can tell me is he may be Neapolitan or Sicilian or even North African. Trust me, I don't need any more unsolved crimes at the Questura. You've got the clothing, you can send that for analysis. And I don't need lessons in forensic recovery. Meroni stood up and walked out into the cool air. He looked up at the vast stone edifice of the Colosseum. The largest amphitheater in the world harbored many brutal secrets. Despite its well-documented history, it rarely gave them up. This morning, Rome's most famous landmark remained resolutely silent. A flock of starlings flew up into the bright sky, their presence a herald to the winter months ahead. Meroni watched the swirling mass, black ink dots on lapis blue, shapeshifters in God's kaleidoscope. The starling's murmuration was a stunning sky ballet. Back in the days of the Roman Empire, augurs would study the patterns for auspicious signs. Today, the omens were not good, at least not for the unknown victim. Gambarella appeared from the forensic tent and lit another cigarette. What do you mean, another unsolved case? The inspector shook his head and waved Meroni's question away. My problem? But I need you back on the team at the Questura. Have you contacted the psychologist yet? She's good. She'll fix your head. No, I haven't, Gamba. Tell me, is this murder linked to last week's bomb incident at the Vatican? Gambarella blew smoke into the air. How did you come to that theory? Meroni shrugged and turned to the uniformed officer who was standing on scene guard. What did you find when you first arrived, Signorina? The officer looked from Meroni to the row of onlookers who had gathered behind the line of blue and white police tape. I'm sorry. Simple question, Signorina. Tell me, how long have you been in the police service? Almost a year, Signore. She was feisty. Meroni looked into the large blue eyes and considered the full, sensual mouth. He leaned in, close enough to feel the soft chill of her cheek against his own. The reason I ask is my old friend Gambarella, despite all his experience, cannot see his own toes nowadays, let alone the clues right in front of him. She pursed her lips to stifle laughter. Gambarella was on Meroni's shoulder. Officer Bianca, this is the perfect opportunity to impress us with your fresh out-of-police school insight. Bianca coughed into a gloved hand. Inspector, as you have already said, there is no ID card and nothing else to help us identify the victim. No obvious clues. That is why you called Signor Investigatore. Meroni performed a theatrical bow. Gambarella rolled his eyes and tossed his half-smoked cigarette. Mr. Fucking Detective? I think not, Bianca. Meroni pointed to the forensic tent. Officer Bianca, I understand you were the first one here this morning. What did you see when you arrived? Gambarella motioned impatiently for Bianca to speak. I can confirm I was the first officer on the scene. I found the body there behind the construction fence, exactly where it is now. The injuries and strange clothes were the first things I noticed, and it looked as though something had mauled him. I called it in as a murder. Officer Bianca is observant, Gamba, but I think she may have overheard us talking in the forensic tent. Bianca turned her head away from Inspector Gambarella. She frowned at Meroni and mouthed an expletive, feisty. Gambarella watched the swelling crowd beyond the police tape. Well, thank you for your acute observations, Bianca. I also see a corpse, not a ghost. But what is his story? You can get back to your scene-guarding duty, officer. Meroni, come with me. Gambarella lowered his voice, a conspiratorial whisper. What do you really think? It is unlikely there will be a record or any trace of him on the DNA database. Immigration might hold a record of sorts, a false name and a fake nationality. More likely, he is one of the many thousands of immigrants of dubious origin that have entered Italy illegally. He is a ghost. But you have this passenger record. Meroni handed the evidence bag back to the inspector. New York? Yeah. I can just imagine what the prosecutor's office response will be when I ask them to pay for a flight to the United States based on your ghost theory. They're already marking my cards. I need you back at the Questura, Meroni. Stop fucking around. You won't have to go to New York, Gamba. There is an online database of all the people from Italy who passed through Ellis Island. It's free to interrogate, which should please our chief prosecutor. You can buy copies of the records online without the word sample written across them. Someone has printed this straight from the webpage. The murderer is a cheapskate, or more likely they didn't want to leave a digital footprint. I was thinking of potential forensic intelligence on the paper. Gambarella appeared vexed. There were obvious lines of inquiry to action on this fresh case, and yet the inspector seemed more stressed and less focused than usual. Have any similar incidents been reported recently? Asked Meroni. Nothing in Rome, but I ordered wider checks to be completed, and a body was found at Piazza del Campo in Siena just over a week ago. They put it down to a Contrada feud. I've asked for the details to be sent over. Meroni couldn't recall any reports in the media about a murder in Siena. He needed to pay Russo a visit. His go-to tech partner would know, and if there was a link to today's incident, she would find it. Oh, and you're looking for a large dog, because despite the body being found here at the Colosseum, a lion has not killed this victim. Meroni made to walk off. I'm not looking for a lion. Well, thank you for that. The Joker returns. I've missed your sparkling wit, Meroni. No obvious claw marks and no wounds to the neck. Lions get a good bite on the throat to suffocate their prey. It looks like a dog attack. The pathologist's report should tell you. Great. You've already given me a ghost story. Now we're rewriting The Hound of the Baskervilles. Elementary, my dear Gamba. The inspector was about to launch into another stream of invective when a Rai News van screeched to a halt amongst the crowd. Meroni watched the vehicle. Has anyone moved the body? Gambarella cast an accusing glance at Bianca. No, we didn't touch anything, I can assure you, Inspector. Gamba, the victim, he's got his arms outstretched, head to the side, legs crossed. It's a crucifixion. Gambarella's hands shook as he lit another cigarette. I don't see him nailed to a wooden cross. He threw the packet to Meroni. Camel? Meroni took a cigarette and reached out for a light. These are not your usual brand. Duty-free, too. An old friend from England brought them over. I don't much like the taste. These blue ones are not strong enough for me. You can keep them. I've got hundreds of the things. Now, this crucifixion theory. Meroni pocketed the cigarettes and the lighter. It's a sign, a message. If there's been 2 murders, it suggests there is another body somewhere. Jesus died on the hill with 2 others. Here we go. More of your signs and messages nonsense. We go from Arthur Conan Doyle to Dan Brown. We've got the whole classic crime thriller genre thing going on here. Anybody else we should throw in? Commissario Brunetti? Inspector Montalbano? Do me a favor and stick to what we've got. I can't link Siena until we know the facts. And no, I can't link the Vatican bomb incident either. Meroni kept his eyes on the Rai News van, waiting for the occupants to show. Who called the police this morning? Anonymous call. Phone number? They withheld it. The reverse call checks show an unregistered, prepaid mobile. Top-up purchased where? No trace, as was the SIM card number before you ask. And yes, we requested cell site checks. Someone turned on the phone, made the call, and then switched it off at this location. No other use detected. Meroni watched the Rai News reporter, microphone in hand, making her way through the crowd. Shit, that's all I need. Teresa Conti and more of her stupid fucking questions. Gambarella threw his cigarette to the ground. Teresa Conti was always there at a breaking crime story. Meroni stamped out his cigarette and walked over to his Vespa. He grabbed his helmet from the handlebars and straddled the scooter. Gamba, are you sure this does not link to the bomb incident at St. Peter's? How would I know? The Carabinieri Special Operations Group is being somewhat circumspect over that little incident, but I expect Conti will try to link it. I need you with me on this case. Come back to work. You shouldn't be riding around on that thing. You're too tall for it. Besides, it's a death trap. Meroni pushed the Vespa's electric start button and pulled down the visor of his helmet. I would come back to the Questura, Gamba. So what's stopping you then? Simple answer. I don't believe in ghosts.